Why do people like Death Stranding? It's a valid question because it's a very weird game, but I honestly do love it, and I want to kind of explain why to anyone who doesn't get it. Death Stranding has the spirit of an indie game with the budget of a AAA blockbuster game. It's doing something truly unique and inventive with its design mechanics, and that's very rare in the AAA gaming space. I think in general, video games are better than they ever have been, but they are also the most derivative they've ever been, at least in the AAA space. And I don't mean derivative in a negative way. I mean that throughout a lot of the early console generations, all the way up until I would say PS4, PS5, we were learning how to make games. For example, up until Resident Evil 4, we hadn't really figured out how to do third-person shooting in a way that felt good. This game nailed it, they figured it out, and since Resident Evil 4, we've just been refining that structure. It's been a lot of refinement. So while games have gotten overall better, it's rare to see a truly new idea, and this is a truly new idea. And while you still see a lot of cool risk-taking in indie games, it's rare that a game with this kind of budget is allowed that amount of freedom. Especially because Kojima could have played it super safe. He could have basically just made Metal Gear Solid under a different name, and it would have been great, and we would have loved it, and called it a day. But instead, he took this opportunity of getting pretty much a blank check from Sony to do something truly weird and creative, and while it doesn't always nail the landing, and I totally understand why some people wouldn't like this game, I get it's not for everybody, I really appreciate it, and I really, really do enjoy it. It's a game that doesn't necessarily look fun, but once you play it, the gameplay loop I found to be incredibly satisfying, and there were so many cool ideas that feels like this is round one of fleshing these out. And so for Death Stranding 2, I'm so excited to see how those ideas evolve and change and how he perfects the formula of Death Stranding. I hope that helps explain to anyone who is curious, and if you do like Death Stranding, what do you want to see in the sequel? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, give me a follow.